Welcome to Hvar Island, Croatia. My name is Eric Kinnan, and today I'm going to share with you my best list of fun things to do and delicious foods to eat while you're here. In this episode, we'll check into the Airbnb that I rented in a 2,000-year-old town that has a population of 300 people. Good morning, Dole! We'll climb to the top of a fortress. We'll go swimming in one of the most beautiful places I have ever seen. We'll have local seafood next to the beach. We'll get a drink and watch the sunset at a happening oceanside bar near the old town of Hvar. We'll taste some traditional cookies made of lavender and olive oil. We'll visit the fascinating house of a 16th century Croatian poet. Finally, we'll sample wine and orange marmalade at a Croatian grandmother's roadside wine stand. Come with me and enjoy all of these incredible Hvar Island experiences on this episode of Best List Travel. Now keep in mind that Hvar is an island, so you can either swim or take a ferry. There are over 1,200 islands in Croatia, but only 60 of them are inhabited. Many of them are serviced by ferry routes to help you explore everything that this magical part of the world has to offer. So here I am in the line for the ferry. There's a surprising amount of cars here. Apparently a lot of other people want to go to this island as well. So the price was about 116 kuna. I'll do a translation into how much that is in your currency. It's not cheap, but it's not too expensive. Beautiful mountains come right down to the port, and the beach here is a wonderful place to swim while you wait. Finally, the ferry arrived, and it was time to load up the cars. Make sure to have your ticket ready. Keep in mind that today I'm going a comparatively short distance. If you take a 2-hour ferry, the price for your car could be $45 or $55 instead of $20. It also depends on how many passengers are in your car. I arrived on Hvar Island and drove the length of the island from the east to west to get to my Airbnb. Long, lonesome stretches of road gave way to beautiful views of the channels between the islands. An hour later, I arrived to Stari Grad Plain, an agricultural landscape that was set up by the ancient Greek colonists in the 4th century BC. The area is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the same crops, mainly grapes and olives, are still grown in the fields. The ancient layout has been preserved by careful maintenance of stone walls for over 24 centuries. The site is a valuable example of the ancient Greek system of agriculture. The style of circular stone shelters used by the ancient Greeks was known as treme, and many are still in use today. More than 90 original Greek tremes have been documented in the Stari Grad Plain. Located right on the edge of this UNESCO World Heritage Site is my home for the next 4 nights, the village of Dole. So I'm about to check into my Airbnb here in a tiny town called Dole. And let's see what it's like. I got it for a really great price, only $53 a night, which is a lot cheaper than staying in the city of Hvar. Don't get me wrong, I'd prefer to stay in Hvar, but it can be pretty pricey, whether you stay at a hotel or at an Airbnb. Similarly sized Airbnbs in Hvar were 3 to 4 times as expensive as the one that I have booked in the village. So let's go check out my Airbnb and see if it's as good in real life as it looks in the photos. And it has lots of great reviews, so I have high expectations. Here, let me give you an aerial view of where I'll be staying. Can you see that stone house right there? That's my Airbnb. It's located on a street too narrow for my rental car, so I guess I'll be bringing my luggage up the hard way. I parked my car in the space my Airbnb host told me to use. Then I lugged my suitcases up a path under a grapevine to the front door of the stone house I'll be staying in. Stairs lead up to my 2-story apartment. Living room looks like the photos. Kitchen looks adequate for making breakfast and lunches and dinners. And now, let's go upstairs and check out the master bedroom. Alright, the air conditioning is working well and the room is nice and cool. This is my street, and it's pretty small. Big old stone walls. That's my bedroom window up there. Supposedly this village has been continuously settled since about 2,000 years ago. I can see olives growing on the trees. I can see grapes growing on the vines. The lavender just got cut down, unfortunately, so I missed that. But this is a cool place to hang out. What's up, you guys?
Hi,
Hello, are you speaking English?
yeah.
We're practicing English in the village of Dol.
Subscribe on this channel.
Thank you. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel here in Dol, Croatia. It was fun to hang out with the local kids, but I think I'll go to sleep early this evening because tomorrow I'll be climbing up to a fortress in Hvar town. It's about a 28-minute drive from my little village of Dol to the fortress in Hvar town. So let's get going so we can hike to the top before it gets too hot. We'll need to hike all the way to the top on foot, something we definitely want to do before the peak heat of the afternoon. So I decided to do the Spanish fortress of Hvar bright and early. It's 9 o'clock, that's the earliest that the fortress opens. It's known as the Spanish fortress because it was designed and built by Spanish engineers. You silly defenders, you left the gate wide open. You broke rule number 1 of defending a fortress. Look, on the way up to the Spanish fortress of Hvar, I found some lounge chairs. So in case you're tired and lazy like I am, you can lay down and take a little break on your way up to the top. So the ticket price is 40 kuna per person, and make sure to bring cash because they don't accept credit cards. So here we can see the plan for the fortress, and let me tell you, the people here were really ahead of their time. Even though this fortress was built in the 16th century, they were just so considerate. Look, they had a cafe bar and a souvenir shop, which most fortresses at the time did not have. Give yourself at least an hour to see the entire fortress, because there's a lot to explore here. But first, let's head up to the top of the fortress to get some photos before it gets too crowded up there. You definitely want to get up here early in the morning when the lighting is right and there's not too many Instagrammers up here to ruin your selfie. Today we look out and see a beautiful blue harbor with boats departing to take tourists to scenic islands to go swimming. But during the times of the Venetian Empire, this maritime harbor was a center of operations for Venice's navy and merchants. Here you can see Venice, represented by the gold sun. And Hvar was right here, in a region known today as Dalmatia, but in Venetian times as Dalmatia. It only took Venetian sailors 1 to 2 days to sail from Venice to Hvar. But how did the city of Hvar fall into the hands of the Venetian Empire? In the year 1278, the local inhabitants of the island of Hvar asked the Venetian Empire for protection from pirates. As part of the agreement, this bay on the southwestern edge of the island was to be fortified as a safe bay for the Venetian fleet. Venice recognized the opportunity here. This port would become the center of their shipping routes in the Adriatic. The Venetians completed this version of the fortress in 1579. The 600-year-old walls still survive, and today cars must drive through them to cross from one side of the city to the other. You should also check out the fortress's prison. Nobody wants to go to prison, but you especially don't want to go to Zatvor. This is where we send all the people who don't tip their bartenders. You're free. Finally, it's been years. You're still tan. Amazing.
Thanks.
Ugh. Watch your head. Down the steep steps, you'll find 3 prison cells. You'll also find the contraption that locked a person's hands in place so they couldn't reach into their pockets to check their phone every time it vibrates. And finally, there was the worst prison cell of all, where they held all the people who didn't smash the like button on this video. I'm so glad I came up to the Hvar Spanish Fortress for the view, the selfies, and the history. Next, let's do a quick 14-minute drive to Malo Zrace Beach. I can smell the ocean already. Not true, I'm in the car. But the water is supposedly just so blue. I'm gonna fly my drone over it, get some beauty shots, and let's hope we can find a good parking spot, because otherwise it's a really long, steep walk. down to this beach. Maybe call a taxi and have the driver take you all the way down, because this narrow road is really stressful to drive on. Kind of crazy to drive around here, honestly. I'm so worried I'm gonna go over this cliff. Famous last words from a YouTuber with 16,000 subscribers. I don't know if it'll make the news, but did you guys see that? The tow truck is just waiting there in case someone starts to fall off a cliff, or if you park in the wrong spot, they will come and get you. Hey, is there any parking down there? Someone just told us there's no parking down below. I honestly have no idea where I'm going to park. I definitely shouldn't have brought my rental car down here. But then, a glimmer of hope. Restaurant Gego has private parking for its diners. So I just parked at Restaurant Gego. Once you park here, you definitely need to go and register with them because they're watching on video camera. Because if you park here and then just go to the beach without registering with them, they might come and tow your car. I saw on the way down here that the tow truck is just right up the hill, waiting to make some money off of you guys. So be very careful and respect the restaurant when you park here in their parking lot. Go down and have a bite to eat. We're gonna have lunch there. It's gonna be delicious. As you can see, finding a spot to park on this incredible beach is a bit of a cluster bump. I totally recommend getting here super early, and I'm talking like 7 a.m. so that you don't have to deal with all these cars and really stressful traffic. Oh, people are honking. It's not as exactly as relaxed as I would like it to be. When you see the church, keep walking down the path, through the trees and to the right. I never could have imagined what a beautiful place was waiting for me. This place is surreal. Look at all those different shades of blue. Dang, that's so nice. I can't believe this place exists. This is like everything I dreamed about when I wanted to come to Croatia and I was planning my trip. This is just perfect. I'm so glad that my Airbnb host recommended this place. Just walk down the stairs and you're on your way to paradise. What a spot. Really, my camera doesn't do this place justice. You have to see it in person. I feel like a merman. And this is my cove. Lots of families and couples have come to enjoy each other's company amongst this beautiful blue backdrop. I'm very jealous of all the kids that get to spend their childhood growing up in Croatia, because this is an incredible place to grow up. I noticed some crafted steps leading gently down the stone to the water. I decided to go check it out. I'm here in August. It's the perfect time of year to get in the water. It's really not that cold at all. All of this swimming is making me hungry. Let's head over to the other bay so we can eat at Restaurant Gego. We'll be switching from one beach to the other, from Malo Zrace to Velo Zrace. Wow, I can't believe it's just a 5-minute walk between these two postcard picturesque swimming spots. This beach is a favorite amongst locals, and families flock here in these warm summer months to soak up the sun. As I walked down the path, I was instantly greeted by the smells coming from Restaurant Gego's kitchen. I stepped inside this family-run restaurant and saw the photos on the wall. This is exactly the kind of place I want to eat. A humble, mom-and-pop establishment that serves the kind of food that they serve their own relatives. I saw the menu and knew what I had to do. I wanted a Dalmatian-style octopus salad, and as soon as it came out, I knew I had ordered the right thing. First boiled, then rinsed, and finally adorned with olive oil, chopped onion, capers, olives, and a few squeezes of lemon. These tender tentacles are the perfect texture. There's really nothing else like it. I guess you could say I'm a sucker for octopus. Did I mention that the Gego family only uses their own olive oil? They grow it on their family land. The orchard situated just 200 meters above the restaurant. Let me tell you, small batch olive oil this fresh really makes a difference. Next up, mussels and the house white wine and garlic sauce. What a treat. The garlicky wine sauce is so good when I mop it off the plate with this crusty Croatian bread. Let's go back to Hvar Town for sunset. The main square is dominated by the Cathedral of St. Stephen, which has Gothic, Romanesque, and Renaissance styles all rolled into one. The plaza itself used to be an ocean inlet, but was covered in 1780 to create a gathering space. Behind me is the main gate of the city of Huar. These walls started to be created in the 13th century, but were completed in the 15th and 16th. It was known as Porta Maestra, which means the main gate, but it was also known to the Venetians as Porta del Dettaglio, which means the gate of the palm tree. Huar is the kind of place that makes you wish you had a boat. So, as of the local suggestion, I'm heading down for sunset over at the beach here in Huar, and a lot of people like to go to Hula Hula Bar, but I've heard it's kind of expensive, pretty noisy, and very busy and crowded. So I'm gonna go spend sunset at Falco Bar. It's really close by, and it supposedly has an even better view at sunset. So let's go check that out. We're walking along the main promenade here in Huar, and lots of people walking by. Everyone's coming back from the beach, but I'm just getting over to the beach. Lots of little beaches line the boardwalk that leads to Falco Bar. Most of them are pretty rocky, not sandy, but once you get out into the water, it's all good. These chairs belong to Falco Bar, and as long as you are ordering food and drinks, you are welcome to chill here. Did I mention that there are some very expensive yachts in Huar? You can see my yacht there in the background with the helicopter. That's mine. I'm not allowed to go on it. Nobody who works there knows me, but I'm telling you, that's my boat. Falco Bar is really hopping at this time of day. I went up to the bar to order a drink and some food. Now we should get back out on the water so we have a better view of the sunset. So now that I've seen this beautiful sunset here from Falco Bar, let's go back to my village where I'm staying, back to my Airbnb in the little town of Dol. The next morning I decided to visit Starigrad, a town just a 5-minute drive from the village of Dol. The town was officially founded by ancient Greeks in 384 BC, making it one of the oldest continuously populated cities in Europe. In fact, the name Starigrad literally translates in Croatian as Old Town. I'm looking through this labyrinth of Old Starigrad for the house of Petra Ektorovica. So quiet and pleasant in the old town of Starigrad. The streets are so clean and well kept, it's really nice. Oh, this is cool. Check this out. I love that some of these restaurants I'm passing by have their wine list right there where you're eating. It's not a list, it's actually all of the wine bottles on a wine rack, and you can just reach out and point to the one that you want to try. I'm also taking these side streets, these back streets, because they're shady and it's hot outside, so this is the best way to beat the heat. So my GPS isn't working. I am actually quite lost in the historic center, and it's really fun to not know where you're going and just all the little art galleries and places that you stumble across. When I saw this sign, I knew I'd stumbled across a store full of deliciousness. Let's head into Zapad Zub, a small local foods market that specializes in products made on Huar and a few of the surrounding islands. In Croatian, Zapad Zub is an expression, like let's meet up after work in Zapad Zub, or have a few bites to eat together. And I have to agree, people who love to eat are always the best people. The two owners are such lovely human beings, and they steered me in the direction of amazing cured hams and spicy marinated olives from local orchards. Then I discovered what I was really looking for, the sweets section. Guys, all of these treats are made here on the island, and they have cookies made with the fragrant extract from the recently harvested lavender crop. Amazing! So today we're going to buy some Staronjoski paprinjok. This is the traditional cookie from the island of Huar. It's made by a co-op of women here locally who create these all the time so that they're fresh. It's made out of local ingredients. These delicious olive oil and honey-based biscuits have a history dating back to the 12th century, when the ladies of Huar prepared them for their sailor husbands before they embarked on long voyages. I can taste the honey and I can taste the olive oil. All of the spices from the island of Huar are here in this delicious cookie. I think I want to move here so I can eat these every day. Women would flavor the cookies with spices like clove, cinnamon, nutmeg, and even a bit of black pepper. Anyways, where were we? Oh right, looking for the poet's house. This fortified house was the summer residence of Petar Ektorović, a distinguished Croatian poet. He is well revered and loved by locals to this very day, but not only for his poetry. You see, during the 16th century, the island of Hvar came under attack from the Ottoman Turks. Ektorović, one of the local nobles, fortified his house so that it could act as a shelter for the local citizens during Ottoman attacks. This is a well-preserved Renaissance building, with a long closed facade on the seaward side to protect it from attack. The interior courtyard contains a seawater fish pool enclosed by a vaulted and arcaded terrace. This palace was built in the 16th century to symbolize God's creation. Here we have the water and the sea with the fish. This is the earth, the garden right behind me, and then above the dove lodging or dovecot. That was to symbolize the heavens and the sky. Below me is an inscription in Latin that Petar had inscribed in many different places. I'll show you a few of them, but this one I really love, and you'll see the skull right below me. It says, "Remember that neither riches nor fame, beauty nor age can save you from death. That takes all." Today is my last day on the island, so let's leave Stari Grad and go for a drive in the countryside. As I was driving these country roads amongst olive orchards and vineyards, I spied a little roadside wine stand with all homemade products. I had the pleasure of meeting this Croatian grandmother, Dalmira, and her son, Darko. This local family was so sweet. They welcomed me to a free tasting of their red wine and showed me some of the varieties of grapes they used to make it. They also wanted to show me a medicinal liqueur infused with a variety of herbs from their garden. So this is her grandmother's recipe, 100 years old, 16 different ingredients to make this sweet liqueur. And do these grow in your garden?
Da, ima ružmarin, salvija tamo.
Darko poured me a shot and we toasted to our health.
Živeli.
Živeli. Živeli. Don't get me wrong, I love the wine and the liqueur, but for me, the real star of their show was the homemade orange marmalade. What makes it special is that Grandma Dalmira uses the entire orange, peel and all. Chewy little bits of orange peel give this a texture unlike any other marmalade. Dalmira insisted that I try a sample right then and there, and I'm so glad that I did. I love that one.
Ja.
Voila!
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Seriously, folks, I kid you not. I ate this entire jar of marmalade the same day that I bought it. Wow. Speechless. Now I only wish I had bought her entire inventory. I can taste all the little bits of orange peel that she left in there. This was made with love. It's so good. It's so good. I had such a wonderful time here. Perhaps one day soon you'll visit Hvar Island and you'll follow my best list of things to do and local foods to eat while you're here.